Anthony, is that you?
Hey, it's you. How did you get here?
This is my man, Anthony Gugliotta. How's it going? Gugliotta. How do you say it in Italian way?
The second G is silent, so it's like Gugliotta.
Gugliotta.
How do I say your last name?
Hapoja.
Hapoja?
Hapoja. My Finnish version is Teppo Hapoja.
Teppo Hapoja.
Yeah, Hapoja.
Hapoja.
There's 2 A's.
Got it.
Anyways, we are here in Toronto. I'm back in my hometown. And of course, whenever I'm home, I have to meet up with other content creators. And Anthony has been my internet friend for a while. It's true. And there's a time and a place where at some point you need to meet, because we've been sending messages on Instagram. We want to get together, hang out, and have fun. And at the same time, I wanted to dig this man's brain because he has been a short form content genius.
Are you ready for the deepest, darkest secrets?
The secrets are gonna come out. But basically, Anthony grew from 0 to 200,000 subscribers within a year, which is insane. And so I just thought, okay, I wanna hear, you know, at what point did it take off? What were you doing before it started taking off? And then we'll go from there.
So I was making long form videos before I was making short form videos, but it was really just for fun. And it was me as a way to experiment with different types of content. As a photographer, you're on Instagram. Everyone's on Instagram, but it's just like, there's no way to grow on Instagram at that point. So I thought, well, I'll start vlogging like the photo things I'm doing, or maybe going on hikes, because that's like my form of photography. It's hikes plus photography.
Yeah.
You know, no one really watched those videos. You can go back and watch them, but I started then on TikTok, because that's short form content, and then YouTube Shorts came out, and so eventually all of that TikTok content started becoming YouTube Shorts content, and then I really started focusing on, okay, let's be consistent.
How consistent have you been?
I can tell you I posted more, so at least every other day for a year, but like longer than a year. So like probably 500 pieces of content in like 500 days, something like that.
That's insane. And at what point did it start growing? Like, how was it instantly day one you just start posting short form content and it starts growing, or was it like 6 months of grinding and making short content and not seeing too much growth and all of a sudden took off, or what was it?
It's really interesting, and I don't know if this is like YouTube algorithm secrets or anything I'm spilling right here.
This is gold right now, gold.
At first it was nothing, like, you know, 100 views, maybe one would get like 1,000. I was like, you know what, it's okay. I know this is good information. I'm just gonna keep posting it regardless of the results.
Yeah.
And then I think, oh man, when did it really take off? So I have a video that's called Why Do Photographers Edit Their Photos? And it was me, like, you know, the raw versus edited?
Yeah.
So it was my take on that trend, but instead of just saying raw versus edited, I put like my spin on it, where it was me in the photo, or me explaining the photos, and that's the video that all of a sudden like hit the algorithm.
Oh, interesting.
And then all the other ones, the back catalog of like 100 shorts, all of a sudden started getting traction.
How many views did that video get? Like, what was the amount?
Oh, now it's I want to say if it's not at 1 million, it's over, like maybe closer to 1.5 million. I have quite a few shorts that are over 1 million, so I've lost track.
How often were you refreshing when that one started taking off? Were you like, oh my gosh, what's happening? Something's going.
You know what? It's a very weird feeling. I actually had that happen first with a long form YouTube video.
Oh, really?
So we were talking earlier, and one of my Lightroom tutorials that I had posted maybe 6 months into starting YouTube, you know, no views at first, but I knew it was a good video because it's something that I learned and I wanted to share with other people. And then that video, 3 months later, within a week, got like 20,000 views, and then 40,000 views, and that's when I was like, refresh.
What's happening? What's happening? But I think that's so good to hear, because I think so many people who are creators, they don't have patience, and as well, they give up too quickly and they're not consistent, and they just think that the growth should happen right away.
Yeah.
But for you, you are already making valuable, good content for a long time, and then once one of them kicked off, then the rest of them started growing too, which is interesting, because I think for a lot of people, they think that if they could just get that one viral video,
then everything will be fine.
Yeah, but then if they don't have anything in the backlog, or they're not consistently making content after that, it's not gonna work out anyways. You'll get that one viral video, and then it'll just,
yeah.
So you really do have to keep going consistently no matter what through the kind of highs and lows.
You do have to be committed to it regardless of the results that you're seeing.
What's been your kind of strategy or technique on how do you just keep making consistent content?
You know, a lot of it are me making content around questions that I have as a photographer. Like, I would never say, like, I never really shot in a studio as like like I didn't go to school for this, and so there's a lot of things that I'm just learning organically. Like recently for me, it's been prime lenses. Like, oh my gosh, like a 1.2 prime lens, and I'm learning things about that and sharing it with my audience as I'm learning it. So a lot of the short form content, which, you know, you can also make long form content out of, I'm pulling from what I'm currently learning or currently experiencing. One of the things I'll do is I'll sit there and I'll unbox something, and people are like, why are you always unboxing things? And the answer is like, because I need to buy memory cards. Because I need to buy a cage for my camera. I'm buying a new micro. Like, it's just things that I'm buying. And so it's like, I'm learning about 32-bit float audio or what raw video is, and then sharing it with my audience.
I like that though, because I've been recently thinking about that, where people love watching someone's journey, like the progress. And there's something about getting to kind of watch someone else's progress, and it inspires you and motivates you, and it's like, ooh, this guy's learning and growing, rather than someone being the know-it-all professional and be like, this is what you need to do. Versus if you say, this is what I did. It's much more like to receive that content then.
And it's a lot easier to relate to people at a similar level. So if you see someone who's like a pro cinematographer, like, I don't know, Hollywood, whatever, you're like, oh my gosh, like, I'm so intimidated. Like, yes, you can learn from them great techniques, but it's like, you want to have a friend that you're learning it alongside with. And so I kind of want to be people's YouTube shorts friends.
I like that. It's like the friend of the people. But I think that a lot of times when you're a content creator, you forget that professionals aren't watching YouTube. It's people who are starting out. And I have to even stop and think a lot of times, like, well, what was it like when I first started shooting photos? What was it like when I first started shooting video? What were the questions I had? I remember going to my first ever wedding as an assistant shooter. The main shooter was like, what white balance are you on? I was like, oh, what's white balance? Yeah. So like, for someone who's been now shooting for 10 plus years, those are just like, it's like riding a bike. You don't even think about it. But for someone who's starting out, those are very hard questions to answer. So I think that's the beauty of short form content, that you can quickly answer these kind of questions and help people learn. Absolutely. If you guys aren't subscribed to this guy, go follow his channel. I'm gonna link it right here, here, or here. I don't know, wherever it comes on the screen. Somewhere on the screen, something's gonna pop up, so subscribe to him.
And now we're, as I always like to say at the end of my videos, going to go shoot photos.
He's making me look like a beautiful Finnish giant biking.
Aren't all Finnish people giants? Isn't that how it works?
No, we're all little midgets.
Oh, okay.
Hence why we don't play basketball. Thanks for taking me around like a tourist in my own city.
No problem. You know this. I don't need to show you. You know, TD Center.
But I like it. I like it when someone from Toronto is showing me around, even though I grew up in the city, but still, it's nice. All handheld, my friend. Who needs a gimbal? Who needs a gimbal? That was all handheld. I was just saying that I never use gimbals. It's all handheld because they just always get in the way. I don't know how to use them either, so that was all handheld. I promised you. Anthony, it's been good. Farewell, my friend. Farewell.
Do this?
Farewell. Where's like the sound effects?
If I snap you back to Finland, does that work? The YouTube.